we're moving on over to the Shatter Temple. Let me go ahead and pull up the names. It is SelecT against TT1's. Whoa, SelecT from Dignitas and TT1 from MTW.
Now, Andre, I'm curious. Do you know how the map choice happened? Is it like a loser picks map, or was it just a map rotation?
Yeah, it is a loser picks map. So he could pick
TT1
picking the Shatter Temple.
Shatter Temple. Okay. All right, man. TT1's shocking me, man, right now.
You don't like that choice?
Shatter Temple is a really Terran favorite map. Really, really Terran favorite. So I'm just really shocked that, you know, in this tiebreaker phase, not only did he pick SelecT to go up against again after losing to him in the first game, but he also picked such a Terran favorite map. I'm really worried for TT1 right now, man. I'm really worried that, you know, he's not going to be able to get that 1-1 and keep going in these tiebreakers. I mean, if SelecT doesn't make mistakes, that's what it comes down to. Obviously, everyone makes mistakes, but I feel like if SelecT doesn't make mistakes and plays his standard play, I don't know what TT1 could do here.
It'll be a little bit dicey, of course. I don't know. Kind of a weird situation, I guess, TT1 has put himself into.
Yeah. Yeah, can you maybe, like, rationalize that? Do you know why he would pick this map? Or, you know...
well, I think this is telling us right now. If you think too much about the future, I just want revenge.
He was just like, revenge, and they were like, what map do you want? Like, whatever, just map.
Yeah.
Just temple, whatever,
That's probably, you know what, that's probably exactly what he was thinking.
Really?
I kid you not, that's probably exactly what he was thinking. But,
all right, man.
TT1.
Could be his funeral. Whoa, look at this play from SelecT, man. Now, he's going for a gasless expand, which is fine, and I'm fine with that move. It's, you know, really safe nowadays. But he actually went for the first supply depot, not at the wall, and then put everything else there. So if he had actually put his first supply depot there, he would have a full wall, and there's no way TT1 could have scouted in and seen if he had gas or not. But as it is now, TT1 is going to be able to get into his base and figure out, wait a minute, you don't even have a geyser, you're going gasless expand. So I'm really surprised by that choice by SelecT, man.
Yeah. You know what? I have actually done that all the time. And TT1, or excuse me, as a Terran, I actually forget. I don't know where I got TT1. As a Terran, I actually forget to put my first depot at the wall sometimes. And it's
yeah, it's like it gets to 10 food, you're like, oh, I don't want to lose that time.
Exactly.
It over
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, man, doing too much chatting at the beginning of the game. But oh, he's gonna deny this the probe scout. Did TT1 not realize it's only cross positions on NASL Shadow Temple, man? He sent that probe at 12 o'clock, could have got that scouting information, and instead is now playing in the dark.
Yeah, these guys silly.
That's a really big deal.
Silly users sometimes.
Yeah, that's a really, really big deal. Because now he has to prepare against the possibility of 2 racks. He has to prepare against the possibility of 1-1-1. He has to prepare against the possibility of this gasless expansion. That's really hard to do as a Protoss when you have no idea what the Terran's doing.
And you know, I actually know that TT1 knows that because I've talked to him about it, and you know, he's talked to Duran about it. He's known that. He's played like that in the season. But you know, we've done that. We've been victims of that, where we know it was NASL Antigua Shipyard,
right?
We still scout close position.
It's like out of habit from playing on the ladder all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that might even be it, because he actually scouted the 12 o'clock rather than close positions. So and that was changed on ladder, so that there's no close positions anymore. So yeah, maybe it's just a little bit too used to ladder. But that's a really big deal. That's absolutely huge for him to have to prepare against every possibility. That means he's going to have to rush out that robo. He did go 1 gate Nexus, but he's going to almost certainly have to get the robo afterwards, unless he's going to scout the ramp and see the bunker, and yeah, that's going to let him know that it could possibly be something like Cloak Banshee or 1-on-1, even though it's not. He has no idea. So from TT1's perspective right now, he absolutely needs to rush out the robotics facility and then those 2 additional gateways here. But of course, he actually only just now got the second gas and is getting a sentry right now. So he's not going to be able to get that robo just yet. Now, it actually won't end up hurting him since we don't see SelecT going for any type of all-in like that. But it's just the possibility that's to worry about. The possibility that that really it's almost like he's like playing mind games with him. It's just something that TT1 has to be really afraid of until he confirms that it is in fact just an early expansion.
And SelecT was able to get in there with that 1 SCV, and he saw the Nexus come up. So he knows exactly what his opponent is doing. He knows he's not capable of doing something fast Dark Templar, fast Void Ray, things like that. Those cheesy little plays. So for now, SelecT will take his expansion. That's going to be the trigger for him.
He's going to move down on that low ground, man. And look at this. He only took 1 tech lab with double gas and rushed the factory. So yet again, like SelecT's his kind of signature style, he loves getting those medevacs up very early on. Now, this isn't necessarily very early on. This is actually, you know, pretty not necessarily standard timing. He's a little bit earlier than most players would do it, but it's not out of the ordinary. He did go up to 3 racks, then factory. It just means he's not going to have as many upgrades as early on because he doesn't have the double tech lab to get stim and combat shields.
Yeah,
so they'll be a little bit delayed, but he will have the earlier medevacs for that healing as well as the possibility of drop play. And that'll work out well for SelecT because as we've seen in the past, his drop micro is oh so good.
Yeah, it's impeccable, man. Probably top in even the Korean scene. I've seen him just obliterate so many Korean players with his drop micro and his multitasking. It's going to be very hard to actually keep up with that. I know TT1 is a player with good mechanics. Yes, I remember there's what was that? There's some sort of analysis on Team Liquid, and TT1 is actually up there in terms of Protoss. He was first or second in terms of Protoss, just being able to multitask and do different things. So I'm really excited to see how he defends against SelecT's incoming aggression.
Well, I know it wouldn't be first. So there's no way he's above Hawk on that, man. But yeah, I'm trying to think about how many like Protosses are actually known for good multitasking. It's
against who? I'm sorry.
Well, you were saying TT1 was
in the foreign scene too.
Right, but not like I mean, you were saying number 1 or number 2?
Yeah.
I was just saying there's no way it's number 1 because Huck is like.
No, he's not number 1.
Yeah. There's just no way you can beat Huck on that. He's just so good at his multitasking. It's insane. Top 3 control indeed. The guy practices all the time, works so hard at it. But if TT1 is like a multitasking, he could help him out defending against these drops from SelecT if he goes for them. But for now, SelecT just playing very, very safe. He's fully walling off his natural. Wants to make sure he doesn't get hit by some type of like charge lot Archon shenanigans or something. So he'll have that wall off, which will help him quite a bit. Also has that bunker, and I love that he placed his factory in front of the bunker, man.
I know, man.
That's so cute. Keeping that bunker completely safe. No Zealots will be able to attack into it. Any ranged units will have to be behind the factory, behind those supply depots as well. And the first 2 medevacs are out here from SelecT. And look at that, a 3rd command center already on the way. He is not going to risk going for some type of 2-base, huge attack here. He's going to go for that 3rd and play a very standard macro game. Meanwhile, though, TT1 at the same time did take out those destructible rocks, so he might be going for a 3rd of his own.
And I want to say all these mind games that are going on in this game, we normally see SelecT pushing out at the 10-minute mark with those medevacs and just trying to dominate his opponent. Well, what does TT1 do? He actually blind hard counters it by going double Immortals in this stage. And yeah, Immortals aren't too strong, but when you're going up against drop, you're just getting a lot of units to deal with it. He's trying to crush that drop as much as possible. His Stalker count is actually a lot higher than normal than we see in regular games, and that way he can actually pick off the medevacs and be really, really efficient with defending. Yeah,
I think a lot of TT1's strategy right now is based on trying to stop SelecT from having a lot of medevacs. Not just the high Stalker count, but also he's taking up to Colossus, and that essentially just forces the Terran to make Vikings instead of medevacs. So he really wants to keep that medevac count low since that is SelecT's specialty here. But meanwhile, it looks like SelecT's going to go ahead and take out the rocks. He's not going to go up to that top left base. Wants to take that gold. Very smart move as a Terran player here, of course. With the gold minerals, you can just drop those mules down and have an insane economy. And there's just really good 3-base timings you can utilize. Yes, it'll mine out quicker for a Terran player, but that doesn't really matter as much. You're not going to try to play into the super late game having gone for the gold as your 3rd. You're not just going to try to stay in there until you're at 200 and you have 3-3 or something. With that gold base, with the amount of insane economy that you just burst up to very quickly, you just go for an amazing 3-base timing that most Protoss players are not going to be prepared for, especially with the 3rd base just now started for TT1 at the bottom right expansion.
Big drop coming in the left-hand side of TT1's main. It looks like these Stalkers are caught out of position. These 3 Zealots are being warped in, and SelecT is just going to pick the heck up and get out of there.
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't even want to pick off a pylon or something, but it's a smart move to just play overly safe, man, and make sure you're not getting caught off guard. The one thing I would have liked, oh no, he did see it. All right, I was gonna say I would love to have seen him do more scouting and check out, look for the more buildings, see that at robotics facility, but he did see the robotics bay. Yeah. So now he knows Colossi are gonna be on the way. So hopefully we'll see him start producing some Vikings, because right now he's actually producing Ghosts. He kind of blindly went to Ghosts again. Doesn't have any Vikings on the way just yet. So his starport actually inactive right now. Definitely, I hope he noticed that, man. I hope he didn't just not pay attention to his base while he's in there, because if he did see that coming, he can absolutely start that Viking production and be in a great position coming into the mid game with the addition of Ghosts and Vikings and upgrades.
Yeah. Now SelecT is sharking around the bottom. I would love him to take out those destructive debris or destructive rocks on the bottom here. Just make another entrance to
just punch Justin Browder in the face, man.
All right.
I'm just kidding, man. Just punch those rocks in the face, man. But he is going to take out the rocks, so it's almost like he's listening to us, Andre.
Yep. And what this actually does is gives another attack path.
Oh my God. TT1 is moving out. That is the worst timing. He's definitely going to lose this Nexus. Marauders just kill buildings so quickly. The Nexus is going to go down almost instantaneously here. And there it is. It is dead now, and he's going to be forced. He's going to fall back. Obviously, he doesn't want to engage into TT1's army, but TT1 came back, and obviously there's nothing to defend anymore. So I feel like maybe once he saw that happening and decided to abandon it with his probes, he should have known he was going to die anyways. I feel like with his army already in the center of the map, he should have gone for like a counterattack, you know? Just try to attack into the natural of SelecT, get into a good position where once SelecT's army comes back, it'll be in a really bad spot where it'll get force fielded. But that wasn't the case. He didn't even put up pressure onto the gold base, and so SelecT is still in a really good position.
Gosh.
Oh my god, he's sending his army back into the bottom right again, actually. SelecT, I feel like, needs to bring this army home to defend. There's no third base there anymore, but actually he might just go for the counterattack into the natural of TT1. TT1 desperately trying to warp in some units, but it's not going to be enough, actually. He may end up losing his natural, so he might end up in a crazy base trade situation here as SelecT is about to lose his third.
Oh my gosh, and the gold expansion goes down so fast with those Immortals over there. Of course, the Colossus damage does quite a bit, but now the natural of TT1 is under attack. TT1 is just going to go all the way up into his main. He's going to try to defend. He has a lot of probes here.
Sentry did not come out in time, man. He could not get that force field on the ramp. Here comes the entire army now. Colossus pops out at the perfect timing here for TT1. Can he snipe that Colossus? He needs to stim forward. No, he's going to lift into the medevacs and just escape. Smart move here by SelecT. At the same time, TT1 tried to attack into the natural. SelecT here did a lot of damage to these supply depots. Going to pick them off all very easily, which will supply block SelecT here. Put him in the red. It's going to be a little bit annoying. SelecT critically does not have enough Vikings right now. He did not react early enough to that robotics, but I think he did not notice it, man. I think he just wasn't paying enough attention because he only has 2 Vikings now. 2 more did just pop out, but did not start that production early enough. And now I still got to give the advantage to SelecT, though, simply due to how much TT1 lost there, you know, in his main and his natural, but they're actually even on harvesters. So.
And TT1 is ahead in supply quite substantially, 172, 143. So SelecT, you know, for this battle might not be too strong. We'll see. Upgrades are looking at 1-0-0 against 1-1 for SelecT.
And he has 2-1 already 2/3 of the way done. If he can get 2-1 done before the next engagement, that will be amazing for SelecT. However, if TT1 attacks, which it looks like he's getting ready to do before 2-1 finishes, it will just be 1-1 against 1-0. Not the biggest advantage there for SelecT. So TT1 might be able to just break this down with more food. However, SelecT has a really good concave. Oh, he's going to try to snipe off. Nice! Gets the observer there. Of course, in range of that turret. And now TT1's going to push, of course, into the front here. This is going to be really dangerous for SelecT, but he's showing so much patience here, just sitting back with really good positioning, waiting for 2-1. He's got about 25 seconds.
There goes. EMPs get scattered across the Protoss force. The Zealots are actually caught in back. He needs to get those in the front. He's just moving backwards, taking a lot of pot shots from all these different units. The Vikings are taking out the Colossus in the back that are trying to do as much damage as possible. Is this going to be enough? SCVs are actually going to be pulled, and the concave still holds for SelecT. It looks like SelecT will actually push forward.
2-1 just finished. There are no more Zealots left for this army. Oh my god, if he can pick off these 2 Immortals, it would be just Stalkers against these Marauders, Marines, and of course the medevacs killing him. He has so many medevacs, and oh my god, he's taking out everything else. The Stalkers are going to go down. Those 2-1 upgrades helping him out so much, and SelecT is going to be able to take out the entire army from TT1, and of course his third base completed during all of that. There's the GG. And now TT1 has been knocked out with the lowest seed, man.
Dude, that game was crazy, though. I have to say, TT1, both of those games did have great advantages in some time in the game to where he could have won the game.
Yeah.
I really feel like, you know, that push was a great timing. 1-1 against 1-0. It wasn't that much, but he had the 30 supply lead. I think he did kind of sit around in the middle for a little bit too long.
Right.
But you know what? That was still a great match.
Yeah, if he had attacked maybe, you know, like 10, 15 seconds earlier, 2-1 wouldn't have finished during the engagement. It would have just been that 1-1 against 1-0. But I think that that's not even the biggest mistake. I think the biggest mistake TT1 made was yet again, I mean, not leaving a scout over near his bottom right expansion. That's just kind of, unfortunately, something that, I mean, everyone's played on Shadow Temple like a million times. Every Terran goes for that type of a play. And you got to at least put a pylon by the rocks or put a probe over below the rocks. Something, an observer, something, man. You cannot leave that wide open and then just take your entire army and say, well, I'm just going to go ahead and attack, move into the center of the map now. You have to have that scouting information. You have to know where your opponent's army is, or be watching those rocks down to your bottom right base, and that was the biggest mistake. TT1 then lost his third base while SelecT still had his up and running at the gold. Even though the gold did eventually get countered and picked off, he definitely got the benefit from it that he needed. And he had a big enough advantage coming in there that he was able to take the game. Very close, though. Very, very close.
Okay, so how this will work afterwards, since TT1 did lose 2-0, it means SelecT has no losses at all. Now, he has the bottom seed, So now it's just him and Hwangson that are fighting for top seed. It basically goes to a best of 3, so we will see SelecT and Hwangson going at it with a best of 3.